right, 44 Magnum wad cutter versus 44 special wad cutter, both buffalo bore. Now this test was requested and funded by Alexi S, one of my patrons, and this subscriber and patron wanted to see what the 44 Magnum wad cutter would do in a ballistic test. And I thought, well, considering I like to do a lot of versus test, I decided, well, I'm going to actually also purchase the 44 special to kind of see what the 44 special will do, and if we really need to, in a practical sense, go to a 44 Magnum. Now this 44 special is actually rated at only 971 feet per second, or 419 foot-pounds. The 44 Magnum is rated at 1216 feet per second and 657 foot-pounds. And this is both at a 4-inch barrel rating. So I have my 4-inch barrel model 69, Smith & Wesson 69. And by the way, this is, in both loads, it's a 200 grain wad cutter. So it might be pretty interesting to see what kind of performance we get with a wad cutter, because typically when we talk wad cutters, we're talking 38 special. And we are talking very low energy. I mean, less than 200 foot-pounds energy. But these are, over 650 versus over 400 foot-pounds. That's a lot of energy. So we're going to go through our chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get at the same time. I'm also going to do a 7-yard quick accuracy test, just to kind of see in a practical sense what kind of, quick follow-up shots we can get, because that might matter. We're going to do our wood penetration test with this. And we're also going to do 25 yards of the gong. But what I'm going to do for my ballistic test here, it's going to be a hybrid test between our Juggernaut test and our ballistics gel. So what I have here is our standard 1 3/4 inch pack of bologna, followed by 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard. This kind of represents like a ribs or sternum behind a pectoral muscle. I did put the 4 layers of denim on front, even though we really don't need that. And then 1 water jug to kind of catch the debris, and then we have our ballistics gel. And from our past test, I have pretty much configured that this bologna pack represents roughly 6 inches of ballistics gel, and a water jug represents about 3 inches. So if we take all that into consideration, we have a full 41 inches of gelatin to catch these bullets in, and it'd be really interesting to see how deep they go, or even if they go through completely. I'm not really sure. So it'd be a fun test to see how these do compare to each other. So let's get started with the test. All right, first up we have our 44 special, rated at 971 feet per second out of a 4-inch barrel from Buffalo Bore. We are 5 yards from the target, 4 yards from the chronograph. Let's see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get with this 44 special wad cutter. $10.13. $10.03. No read. No read. All of a sudden getting some chronograph errors here. Pulling a little bit to the right. $10.32. $10.28. So definitely above rated velocity. Let's see how that 44 Magnum compares. All right, next up we have our 44 Magnum. This is rated at 1216 feet per second from a 4-inch barrel. Let's see how close we get to 1216 out of this Smith & Wesson Model 69. 1240. No read. 1206. 1241. No read. I'll try to get a couple more reads, and for some reason both of these are shooting quite a bit to the right for me. I don't know if that's just me or what the issue is. 1191. 1248. And yeah, I aimed about 3 inches to the left to hit those two in the center, so a little bit off. But overall, our velocity seems to be about right, or a little bit higher. So good on buffalo bore to have those rated velocities about right. Now let's hit our hybrid gel block here with our, our ballistic baloney pack and our water jug and our gel, and let's see what these two will do compared to each other, what kind of penetration we get. All right, 44 special. Let's hit our hybrid pack here and see what we get. Wow, I don't know what happened there. So I moved everything back up here, tried to wash this off, and I moved this back up to our ruler here, and very interesting that it jumped like that. So what we have to do is we have to add about 9 inches to what we're seeing here. So our leading edge here, or at least where the damage comes to, it's exactly 14.5, even though it sucked back a little bit here. So 14.5 plus 9, that's about 23.5, I believe. So 23.5 inches of penetration, 23.5 with the 44 special. It's very interesting because we just see the straight through movement, but we're not going to see a lot of the damage path because that's going to happen in our baloney pack. And here is our baloney pack. It just kind of chewed through one side of it and kind of hit the corner here. I definitely hit it, but it kind of chipped through the corner there and then entered our block here. So 23.5 inches is not too bad. Let's see how the 44 mag compares to this. All right, we have our 44 mag. I don't know why these are so off from my point of aim and impact, but they just seem to be. So I'm going to try to place this as accurately as I can. I'm going to have to aim probably up and to the left a little bit. But I'll try to center this in the baloney pack the best I can. Wow. So here we are again. And our damage is again exactly 14.5 inches in the gel, which is going to be 23.5 inches, exactly just like the 44 special. We can't see this bullet as easily on camera, but it's exactly the same. But what looks like here is that about 9 inches in gel, which is going to be about 18 inches total, there is more damage. It's hard to see, but I can see it. It kind of looks like it tumbled kind of, but our overall distance that it went is going to be the same as this 44 special here. So I expected something totally different than what I got, and I'm not going to take the time to pick up all this baloney because it pretty much vaporized. All we have left is the packaging and the denim pieces. So a lot of damage, definitely a lot more damage than the 44 special, but our end results seem to be the same for penetration. So let's hit our wood block. That might shed a little bit more light on this and kind of see what these will do in wood. All right, let's hit our 44 special, see what this does. 44 mag. All right, so here we are. Our 44 mag is on top up here, and there's our 44 special. So what we have here, board 1, you almost see clean through it. So our mag, our special, right through. Here's board 2. Our mag, our special. So here's our special. It came out the back of 2, which is pretty typical for stuff like 45 ACP, hollow points, and stuff like that. Our Magnum, well, we can't see it in there. It's probably about halfway through. So we're talking about a big dent with the 44 special on board 3 and probably about halfway penetration with the Magnum. So not significant, but that might make or breaks, the situation where you're shooting maybe a brown bear or something. So a little bit of difference, but not significant. Let's do our quick accuracy test and see how these two compare. All right, I'm about 7 yards from the target, and by quicker accuracy, I mean just pull out, get a quick sight picture, and see how quick I can put some rounds on target. We have the 44 Magnum first, and I'll shoot as fast as I think I can and still hit the target. All right, I may have missed one, but immediately it was noticeable that I had a grip on it, that the first shot broke my grip. So bringing it back down, I can't even get a good grip on it. I noticed that immediately. Let's see how the 44 Special compares. And my camera was off when I did that, but what we had here is 1, 2, 3, and then we had 2 in the same hole right here. So we were a little bit low, but we had all 5 right here in about an 8-inch spread. So now with the camera on this time, I'm gonna do the 44 Special and see if there's a difference, if it doesn't break my grip, and see if this really makes any difference at all. So see how I can do with this. And it's like I knocked some of that tape off there, but yeah, there's definitely a difference because this goes into the range of being pretty much a normal handgun cartridge. Felt about like a 357 Magnum for recoil, as with the other one, the 44 was quite a bit of recoil. So let's hit our 25-yard gong and see if there's a difference in these. All right, 25 yards with the 44 Special wad cutter. Let's see if I can hit that steel gong. Yeah, we definitely hit it. And as you can see, that impact, it's just like it was up close, pretty high and to the right. So I'm gonna have to aim at, you know, about the 8 o'clock hold on this. All right, let's try the 44 Mag, see how that compares. All right, 44 Magnum, I guess I'll start out with the same hold at 8 o'clock, see if this hits. Oh yeah. Right, definitely a lot of smack on that plate compared to that 44 Special. This is not brutal for recoil, but shooting fast it did become a little bit of a challenge, as where the 44 Special did a little bit better in that scenario. So that's what you get today, 44 Special versus 44 Magnum with our Wadcutters. Both very powerful rounds. You know, my sights might be off, but you know, they don't look drifted at all, so I don't know why those particular rounds are just shooting that way out of this gun, but that happens with all guns all the time. You know, some ammo just doesn't want to shoot quite the same through a particular gun, but overall 44 Special versus 44 Mag Wadcutters, it's kind of hard for me to say whether one would be better or not for any given, you know, chore. I'm gonna say I think the 44 Special would do pretty much anything you'd need it to, including stopping a large dangerous animal. It had enough energy to get the same, you know, essentially the same penetration in our ballistics gel test. The 44 Magnum definitely had a little bit more punch to it though, and we saw that at 25 yards. It carried a lot more energy. So I can't really call a winner or a loser here. Both are pretty good. I would say the 44 Special makes a lot more sense for most people, but I guess if you were in Alaska or something and you wanted Magnums in this, you know, it's not that hard to handle it. So that's what you get today between the 44 Mag, 44 Special Buffalo Bore 200 grain hard cast Wadcutters. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.